guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sinead, and today I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know before coming to NYU as an international student. So we are halfway through the summer, and a lot of you guys are probably wondering about a lot of different things, especially because studying in the US as an international student has so many barriers and rules that you have to follow, and it's like way different than the domestic student experience, I think. So a bit about me: I am a rising sophomore at the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music in Tisch, and I am from Toronto, Canada, but I'm currently living in Brooklyn. So in this video, I want to talk about my experience coming into NYU as a freshman international student last year, and what I learned and some of the things that might help you guys when you come to the school. So before I studied at NYU, I did high school in Toronto, and so I've never studied anywhere abroad, which means that it was my first time applying for a student visa, and the whole process was kind of daunting, not gonna lie. I think it took me like 2 or 3 webinar sessions to actually understand how to fill out all the forms, what I need, what each thing is. And so I'm gonna be going over all of the things that you need to apply for your student visa. If you're currently in the process of applying for a student visa, I highly recommend you check out Rocket Visa. Rocket Visa is built for and by current and former international students, and they want to help US international students apply for their F1 visa in the easiest way possible and provide ongoing support throughout their immigration process. It's super easy to get started. All you have to do is make an account and then fill out their short questionnaire, and they'll walk you through each step. Rocket Visa takes care of everything. They help fill out the forms, pay the necessary government agencies, submit your application, book you the first available interview slot at any chosen embassy, and they'll also give you interview training to prep for your interview. After that, they'll also help you with actually immigrating and getting your US phone number and bank account set up. And I think it's such a great resource for international students, especially because there are so many steps in each of these processes that you might just want to streamline it. And so I highly recommend you check out Rocket Visa, which I'll leave in the link in the description box below. So if you're coming in as a first-time new international student, you're gonna have to apply for a student visa. And for NYU, you're gonna first have to get your admission letter, and then you'll go to the OGS, which is the Office of Global Services website, and they have a bunch of webinars that I highly recommend you attend because they're really useful and informative. And then you'll just follow the step-by-step process to apply for your I-20, which is issued by the Global Services Office. I personally think NYU has one of the best international student teams, and they just offer so many services and support. And honestly, I've had friends at other schools who were also international students, and they always told me that it's so difficult to apply for things or get the support that they need. So NYU does a really great job of supporting its international students. After you apply for your I-20, you wait to hear back from them, and then they'll send your copy of your I-20 to you either in the mail or by email. And then that's when you can go apply for an F1 visa. After that, they'll schedule an interview, and then you go in and you do your interview, and you should be able to get your visa. But for Canadian students like me, you actually don't even need to do the interview because Canadian students are automatically eligible for the F1. So all you have to do is get your I-20, and then that'll basically serve as your F1 visa with your passport. Another really important thing I wanted to share with you guys was how to get a job. So as an international student, you're only authorized to work on campus, and then you can also do internships that are related to your field of study. Now, I won't lie, it's not easy to get a job at NYU. There aren't that many positions, and there's a lot of people trying to apply, so it's really good to start looking early and really sharpen your resume. NYU has a job search application called Handshake, and so you can go there and filter by on-campus jobs and then just apply to as many as you can that you think that you could do. I applied for maybe like 20 or 30 and I got one interview, and that's my job now, which is working at the Tandon School of Engineering as a web admin. Most of the jobs on campus pay $15 an hour, and you can work up to 20 hours a week and 35 hours a week during breaks and summer. You'll also need to apply for a social security number so that you can get paid, and that process was pretty stressful, I won't lie. So first you have to get your job offer from NYU, and then you'll have to ask them for a letter of authorization from both the Office of Global Services and then also from your employer to confirm that you actually have this job. And then you go to the Social Security office and you sit there and wait for them to call you, and they'll file all your paperwork and then they'll give you your number in the mail after like 2 or 3 days. Getting a social security number is really important, and it can be really useful because it'll allow you to apply for a credit card and get paid. So that's one of the first steps that you'll have to take after you get a job offer. In terms of internships, there are a lot of different internships that you can apply for, and depending on what field you're in, you can either find them on Handshake or LinkedIn or Indeed. I got my internship through a connection, which was my professor, and he recommended me for the job. Usually if you're working for the first time, I recommend applying for smaller companies because it'll have a higher chance of getting back to you rather than big companies like Spotify or Amazon. Another thing to think about before you get here is doing some research on which bank you want to be with. So you'll need a US bank account in order to pay tuition, buy things here, and it's really great to have both a checking and savings account so that you can also earn interest on your savings. One of the really popular banks here is Chase. And I personally don't have Chase, but I know a lot of my international student friends do, and they offer a bunch of student discounts that are really great because they're like no fees and you get a lot of cashback, rewards, and bonuses. So the most important thing is to do your research first and see what the best deals are and what is most convenient for you. I use RBC US banking just because I already have an RBC bank account in Canada, and it's way easier to transfer money between the same bank. The next thing you have to think about is getting a SIM card. So I first signed up with Google Fi because one of my family friends told me that it was really cheap and you get international calling and texting, which is important because I need to call my parents. And so I started out using Google Fi, which was around $50 to $60 a month, which is like insane. Like that's so expensive now that I realize it. What I do recommend is Mint Mobile. So if you guys haven't heard of Mint Mobile, it's actually Ryan Reynolds' phone company. And that might sound like a joke, but it's actually really, really well done. They have amazing service and support, and their app is so cute. And they also have really, really great plans. So right now I am paying $15 a month to get unlimited calling and texting internationally and 4 gigs of data, which is great. And you can always add on by paying an extra $10 if you end up running out of data, which I have done quite a few times. You'll also be able to get free credit if you use my link in the description box below to sign up to Mint Mobile right now. I got my plan during Black Friday, so they were having a deal where the first 3 months were free, and it's such a good deal if you think about it, because before that I was paying $50 a month and now I'm paying like $120 for the whole year. Next thing you need to know is your health insurance plan. So NYU automatically gives you a student health insurance plan, and it's run through a company called Wellfleet. So at the beginning of the year, they'll send you an email about your plan, and then you can go and log in to their website and it'll show you all the things that it covers. There's a comprehensive plan, and then there's also a more upgraded plan which covers more things, but most people just stick to the regular plan. Make sure that you review what your plan covers, making sure that you're not paying out of pocket for health emergencies is really, really important because it can get really expensive in the US. Another tip that I learned was to pack accordingly. So I thought that New York weather was going to be just like Toronto, and usually in Toronto it gets like kind of chilly around the fall, so when school starts. And so I didn't pack any summer clothes. I just packed like fall, winter clothes because I was like, okay, I'm gonna be going back in the winter anyways, and then I can like bring more summer, spring clothes. But it ended up being so hot in September and October that I had to go out and buy new summer clothes. So be sure to check the weather, especially if you're coming from a place that is like really hot or really cold. You want to make sure that you pack for all the seasons of New York because it can get really, really hot. Like right now we're in a heat wave and it's like 35 degrees Celsius, and then in the winter it can get to -10. So it's definitely a very wide range. It'll also rain and snow quite a bit here because we're really close to the ocean, and so be sure to pack really nice jackets and a winter coat. And then you'll also be walking a lot. Like literally, you're probably gonna walk most places. So be sure you have good walking shoes to walk around in. Next up is safety. So New York City is probably the safest city in America, or one of the safest cities in America, but it is just really different, especially coming from Toronto. Like New York City was a completely different scene. It's a big city and there's a lot of people, so there's always something happening, especially if you're living near Washington Square Park or in the Village, which is a very, very busy area at night and on the weekends. Some things to keep in mind are try not to go outside after dark by yourself. Always walk with a group or a buddy. Carry pepper spray. You actually can't buy pepper spray online in New York, so make sure you come with pepper spray. Most people in New York have the Citizen app, which basically alerts you to what is going on nearby and any police calls or anything like a fire or a gas leak, and it's really, really helpful, but it's also kind of scary when you see like someone got shot 2 streets down. So try not to obsess over it, but it's definitely good to just keep it on and be aware of your surroundings. Lastly, I want you guys all to remember that you're not alone. It could be really daunting moving to another country by yourself where you don't know anyone, and that was the case for me, but I was still able to meet people and I made a lot of friends in my first year, even though most of my classes were online. Welcome week was online and it was a really, really tough year, but as long as you get out and you just be yourself, a lot of people here appreciate culture and diversity, so it's a really, really great community to be in, and just don't be afraid of showing your own culture as an international student because that's what makes this school really special. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!